Hey you guys, it's Jojo Montanita. I'm actually testing out my GoPro camera, but at the same time, I was going to make a video today, and it had to do with, it's hard. For a while, I felt like I had to ask permission to talk about this topic, and it has to do because it's it's a very critical topic, you can say. And for forever, or for what felt for forever, I felt like I had to be quiet about it. And it's not only the fact of me being quiet, but it is also the fact of having, knowing that society doesn't want to talk about the situation. Society doesn't want to hear about it. And not only that, but there's people who pretend to be that person that they're not, and they have a testimony to abide by. And there's so many things, so many battles, not only emotionally, but mentally, because you feel like you're not free to express yourself or say the things that you have to say. And I'm like, for the longest time, I felt like I wasn't able to talk about it. I wasn't able to say the things that happened to me. And I know that I have mentioned it before on this channel, but I feel like I could never express myself and say, hey, this happened to me. Hey, this was done to me. And as much as I tried to cure and heal from things and move on, my biggest problem and issue with just shutting my mouth or staying silent is the feeling of remorse, because if I didn't speak, then it would happen again. Because I knew in my mind that if somebody would have spoken when they had gone through this wouldn't have happened to me. I was raped as a child. I was around 5 or 6 years old, but I had to shut my mouth because society didn't accept it, and because a lot of other people didn't want to hear about the topic, they didn't care about what happened and what damage was done. And the first reason I shut my mouth for so long was because I didn't even know what it was that was done to me. I had no idea. And at the same time, I was terrified because it hurt. I was terrified. It's a trauma that you go through. It's not okay to judge someone who goes through something like this and ask them why didn't they speak. A lot of times we were too young to know what it was that was done to us. For people to say that maybe it's exactly what you were looking for, when at the age of 5 or 6, you don't even know what it is that, or what provoked it. My whole entire life, I felt like it was my fault somehow, because society saw it that way. Society made me feel dirty as a person. So many people live through these things, and they live to feel like they're the reason why it happened, that it was at fault, that it was the reason they had to have done something to deserve it. No one deserves to be done like that. Nobody deserves for their innocence to be ripped away. It's our body, and it's not fair that somebody can come and decide over what to do with it, like if you were an object. And it's unfair that the world can look at you like that and tell you to shut your mouth when it happened to you. You're the one that suffered it. You're the one that went through it, and it feels like we have to ask permission if we can talk about this. The fact that the hurt that we went through, the fact that people can still walk around in disrespect, the fact that they have the nerve to tell you to shut up or threaten a child to shut their mouth, make a child back away from what they said. And I'm not saying this happened to me precisely, but it happened to the person previous to me, which is why I say that if that person would have talked, I wouldn't have been raped. There's so many people out there, and this is why I say, if you break the silence, it won't happen. Not to someone else, not by that same person. You can save it from happening to somebody else if you have gone through that pain. So that you don't want the next person to go through that. For the longest time, I have dealt with social insecurity. I have dealt with personality issues, because I'm not saying personality disorders like I'm bipolar or anything like that, but I sometimes feel like I'm not good enough for this world. I feel like I don't have what it takes to be who I have to be. Sometimes I have to fight the fear so that I could walk outside. Sometimes I have this fear and I feel like I can't just get in my car and drive away, because there's always this anxiety that gets to me, the damage that has been done. There's nobody that can tell you that you're gonna be 100% repaired from what happened to you. And society just walks away with that. They tell you to shut your mouth. But what about the damage that was done? Nobody is there to answer for that. It's heartbreaking to know that there's so many people out there who need counseling, who need a psychologist to work things out a little, to at least be a little bit normal, a little bit of what you were before. People judge you. There's people who don't want you to talk. But I realized later on in life, now me being 28 years old, that I don't have to ask permission for something that happened to me. This is what happened to me. And I know that if I speak to someone out there, they know that they are not alone. I'm not here to say the name of the person that did it to me. But I am here to say that it is not fair that you need to shut your mouth for someone else. You don't have to shut your mouth. If you speak, you break the chain of what happened. It doesn't matter what society thinks. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, get over it, this happened so long ago. There's things that I'm still dealing with today. I get still, once in a while, I get my anxiety attacks. And I always wonder what would have happened if I would have been the one that chose to give it up to who I wanted to. Would I have been this broken? I'm not broken anymore, because I feel like now I have the power to talk, because I am done asking permission for my feelings. I am done asking permission for what I feel, for my story, for what happened to me. I am done asking permission if I can tell people that I was raped or not. This is something that I went through now. It happens so much more often than what we all think. When I found out what was done to me, I was about 10 or 11 years old, because we would talk about sexual education in school, and I had questions. And I went with my mom with those questions, and she realized what was done to me. I was already broken, but she didn't understand why. I've always wondered what it would have been like if I had never gone through that trauma. I got married to my husband, and I wish that I would have chosen that. That I would have chosen to give it up to him and not to have it taken from me. As a human, this is my body, and nobody should be able to decide for it. It is unfair that on top of having to go through something like that, something so humiliating to society, and the other people who are involved will tell you to be quiet, because they care more about their testimony than anything else. What about the damage that was done to you? What about everything that it has messed up for you? Feeling like sometimes you can't walk or be normal. You can't talk to people the way you wish you could. You don't know if by you slightly smiling, they might think something else. People worry more about what they will say more than what the person has gone through, more than what the damage they have gone through. People don't see that. They don't see the damage done. And some of them pretend to be Christian. Well, how so? When the Bible tells you to be honest, the Bible tells you to be compassionate, loving, caring, worrying about your neighbor, but everything you did was the opposite. Not only did have a lot of people backed up, whether it's in church or not, outside of church even, they back up people who do those kind of things and tell you to shut your mouth. not caring about you, being selfish because they don't want to be talked about, because everybody just cares about being talked about the family name, about the church name, about the company name. But no one cares about the damage that they have done to you. The hurt, the tears that you've cried, the nightmares that you've had, the anxiety that you get, the attacks, the feelings, all those thoughts and flashbacks. Not one of those individuals were there for you, but they're the ones telling you to shut your mouth. People feed on the vulnerable and take advantage and abuse of them. It is until the coward dies that the brave one is born. I'm not saying that you're not going to be scared. I'm saying that if we speak and we stand our ground, that there will be less people out there who go through the same thing that we have. If you know somebody that have gone through this, speaking is not just for rumor making. It's not just for people to talk of others and who have no life. It's to spread knowledge. It's power. It's strength. Because like the Bible says, the truth will set you free. I'm done being silent. I'm done asking permission if I can talk the truth of what happened. Because a lot of those things that we hide, a lot of those things that we stay quiet destroy families. And I don't want to destroy a family. I want to unite one. This is my video. I know it's a little bit intense. I hope that this helps somebody out there. If you guys know somebody that has been through this, or you yourself have been through this, I hope you will share this with them, or share this with people who might have gone through a trauma like this. They're not alone. You're not alone. But if we speak and we stand together, we are stronger. So know that you're not alone. Know that the crazy stuff that you feel sometimes is not you being crazy. I know how you feel. And I don't judge you. Because there's people who have gone through the same thing. Well guys, this is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like, share, and subscribe if you felt that this video was helpful. Share this with somebody that you know will need it. Bye guys.